Just in, the man who will wed Princess Leonor de Barbón revealed. Madrid, the heart of Spain. The palace. Walls glowed under the evening sun as rumors swirled through the corridors of power. The nation expected another royal appearance. Another graceful moment. Another ceremony of duty and formality. But what emerged from behind those palace doors sent shockwaves through Spain and across Europe. Because for the first time, the identity of the man who will wed Princess Leonor de Bourbon, the future Queen of Spain, has been revealed. And the truth is far more astonishing than anyone imagined. He's not a noble from an ancient European house. Not a prince. Not a politician's son. He's someone who came into Leonor's life quietly, without fanfare, and yet, his presence has changed everything. The revelation of his identity is not just a love story, it's a royal revolution. The story begins where few expected, at the Spanish military academy in Zaragoza. It was here, amid the rigid discipline of training and the quiet strength of tradition, that Leonor found not just her calling as a future commander-in-chief, but something else. Someone else. At first, it was subtle. A shared glance during drills. Conversations that stretched a little longer than duty required. A sense of understanding, two young people living under pressure, striving to prove themselves, bound by the same ideals of service and country. His name, at the time, meant nothing to the outside world. But to Leonor, he was a reflection of everything she admired: humility, courage, and a refusal to be dazzled by royalty. Those close to the princess say he never treated her like a crown, but like a person. And that, for Leonor, was everything. His background, however, would stun Spain. His name, withheld by the palace until now, belongs to a family respected for their integrity but without noble lineage. His father, a decorated officer. His mother, a scholar of Spanish history. A man of discipline and intellect, someone who earned his place, not inherited it. But that wasn't the real reason the world was captivated. It was the secrecy. For months, the royal family remained silent. Every whisper, every photograph, every speculation met with the same calm refusal: "We will speak when the time is right." That time is now. Sources inside Zarzuela Palace confirm that the man in question has been quietly vetted by royal advisors, discreetly introduced to key members of the family, and, most importantly, earned the respect of King Felipe VI himself. That's no small achievement. King Felipe, a man who understands the burden of love under royal expectation, reportedly sees in him the same integrity that once drew Letizia into his life. But the decision wasn't simple. Queen Letizia, ever the protector of her daughters, reportedly expressed initial concern, not about his character, but about the toll such a relationship could take. She knows the scrutiny, the headlines, the endless comparisons. She once lived them herself. And she wanted to be certain her daughter's choice came from conviction, not rebellion. Yet those who've witnessed the couple together say their bond is undeniable. Leonor's demeanor changes in his presence, softer, freer, yet still poised. The man who will one day stand beside her is said to bring out a version of Leonor the public has rarely seen, the woman behind the crown. And that, perhaps, is why this story matters. Because in a monarchy often defined by tradition and duty, Leonor's choice represents something new, a bridge between past and future. Behind the scenes, palace staff began noticing subtle changes. Leonor's schedule included more private weekends away from Madrid, officially for rest, but insiders knew these were precious moments for the two to meet quietly, away from cameras. In one such moment, they were seen walking through the countryside near Avila, dressed simply, blending in with ordinary couples. To anyone else, they looked like two young people in love. To Spain, they represented a shift in royal history. But this love story did not come without resistance. Some members of the extended royal circle reportedly questioned whether a man without noble ancestry could be a fitting consort for the future queen. The whispers were sharp. "He's too ordinary," some said. "He doesn't come from the right world." And yet, Leonor stood firm. She reminded those around her of her parents' story, how King Felipe, against the expectations of Europe's aristocracy, married a journalist, a commoner, a woman of intelligence and will. That love, once controversial, became the foundation of Spain's modern monarchy. And now, Leonor was following in that same courageous path. Reports suggest that her father's quiet blessing came one evening during a private family dinner. Leonor, nervous but resolute, shared her feelings openly. Felipe listened, then simply said, "If he makes you stronger, he belongs in your life." That moment, according to a palace aide, changed everything. But who is this man truly? Beyond the headlines, beyond the fascination, who is he at his core? He is said to be calm under pressure, with a sharp sense of humor that balances Leonor's measured nature. A man who reads poetry, plays guitar, and has served in humanitarian missions abroad. He speaks fluent English and French, a necessity in European royal circles, but prefers the quiet rhythm of Spanish life. One story stands out. During a private charity event, before their relationship became public, Leonor was asked to deliver an impromptu speech. Overwhelmed by emotion, she hesitated for a brief second. From the crowd, he caught her eye, and she smiled, regaining her composure instantly. That look, one observer said everything. Spain, of course, thrives on royal romance. From Queen Sophia's fairy tale beginnings to Felipe and Letitia's modern love story, the idea of love within royalty has always captured hearts. But Leonor's story feels different. It's quieter, more intimate, more real. As the news broke, reactions across Europe varied. In Denmark and the UK, royal analysts called it a defining moment for Spain's next generation. In Spain, millions celebrated her choice as a sign of authenticity, proof that their future queen understands what it means to be both royal and human. But with celebration comes pressure. The spotlight has already intensified. Paparazzi hunt for images, journalists dig for details, and the palace carefully balances transparency with protection. Yet, Leonor remains calm. Her confidence, observers note, mirrors her mother's poise during her own engagement years ago. There's a reason she's earned respect not just as a princess, but as a leader in her own right. This relationship, now confirmed, is not seen as a distraction from her role, but a complement to it. A queen is strongest when her heart and her crown align. And yet, beneath the surface, an emotional truth lingers. This relationship began not in the grandeur of court life, but in simplicity. Shared service, shared purpose, shared understanding. It's said that during their earliest conversations, he once told her, "I don't see a crown when I look at you. I see courage." Those words stayed with her. And perhaps that's why she chose him. In the coming months, the palace is expected to release more formal statements. An engagement could follow, though sources say Leonor wishes to finish her military training and university studies first. She is determined to enter marriage as a queen. In her own right, not merely as a royal bride. As Spain watches, one truth becomes clear: this love story is not about protocol. It's about evolution. The monarchy, once rigid, is being reshaped by a young woman unafraid to follow her heart. And for all the speculation, one image now defines this story: the two of them walking through the palace gardens, hand in hand, talking quietly as the sun sets. No titles, no ceremony. Just Leonor, and the man who will stand beside her as she steps into history. The world may call him the future consort. Spain may call him the luckiest man alive. But to Leonor, he is something simpler, the one person who saw her not as a princess, but as a woman who dared to love. And as the bells of Madrid ring, a new chapter begins. The crown remains. The tradition endures. But now, at its heart, beats something pure. Something rare. Love, chosen, not arranged. Earned, not expected. And as Spain looks toward its future queen, it sees not just a symbol of monarchy, but a young woman brave enough to write her own story. Because in the end, the greatest revelation isn't his name. It's what his presence means. Princess Leonor de Bourbon is no longer just the heir to the Spanish throne. She is the embodiment of a modern royal legacy, where duty meets heart, and where love, finally, stands beside the crown.